It's been 8 years since I started my business, and I'm going to make a series of 8 tips on all the lessons I've learned throughout this journey. The reason I'm doing this is because a lot of these internet gurus or business gurus are telling how easy business is, and they don't tell the real truth of what actually goes on. So my first tip for you is take action. Basically, it's better to spend 1 or 2 hours a day on your business than to just dream and think of your business that you'll get there one day, or I'll start my business one day. So working 1 or 2 hours a day adds up over time. You need to think in terms of decades and not days. So when I started my business, I was still working a full-time job. During the evenings, I would take sales calls and I would do freelance projects for clients. And once I've got 5 or 6 clients, that's when I jump 2 feet into my business and actually do my business full time. You don't have a business until you're making revenue. So I see a lot of people start the business. They're focused on very busy work, like creating a website, creating the logo, or like deciding on what's a better name. And this stuff doesn't really matter in the short term. What's more important is to go get clients and bring in revenue. Because if you don't have revenue, you don't have a business. When I started my business, I didn't focus on getting the logo right, getting the website right. I was focusing on getting work as Wong. And the method I used was I was applying to jobs, and then in the interview, I was pitching them my service, and it worked. I got 3 or 4 clients like that, and we made 5 figures in the first few months of doing it. We took some of that money and we made the website, made the logo so that it's more presentable. But a lot of clients weren't even looking at our website to get the initial sales. So tip number 2 is get clients, then worry about your design and branding.
Prioritize what you're good at and double down on it. This is tip number 3, part of my 8-part series of what I wish I knew when I started my business. The idea is that you spend time learning skills, and then you get better at it, and as you get better at it, you learn other nuances that other people don't know, and then that's your competitive advantage. So a lot of times in business, you need multiple skills. You need skills in sales, you need skills in delivery, skills in customer service, finance, and operations. And you will never have all 4 skill sets out of the gate. So the idea is that you should always focus on what you're really good at and what's your superpower, and then hire people to do the rest. Initially, you might have to learn what everyone else is doing. Once you can do it and you have the money, you should get someone else to do it. So don't waste your time learning something that you're not good at. Hire someone who's been doing it for years and let them take care of it. Set clear boundaries for you and your clients. This is my 4th tip in my 8-part series of business lessons that I wish I knew when I started my business. A lot of times when you start your business, there's a lot of problems. You have to handle delivery, you have to help clients, and things are always on fire, and you have to take care of it because either your employees are not doing it well, or the clients are hard to deal with. One thing that I found that's very important was setting very clear boundaries for your clients and your team. So what does that mean? When you set boundaries for your clients, they have to follow your process of how you do things. If they want to do things differently, you tell them no, and you have no flexibility on it, because if you can't systemize it, then someone needs to come in and fix the problem, and most likely that person is going to be you. So having clear expectations helps you solve that problem. Now for your team, when you hire people, there's different skill levels for people. Some people are really good, some people are really bad, and some people are in the middle. The idea is you need to set a standard of the quality of work in your company, and then people have to live up to that expectation so that everyone in your company has the same signature and same quality work that you would offer if you did it yourself. Money should never prevent you from doing something you need to do for your business. This is my tip number 5 of my 8-part series of lessons I learned as a business owner, and I wish I knew them when I started. A lot of times you have a lot of excuses when you start your business, like I have no sales, or I don't have the people to do it, or I don't have no cash flow. And one thing you have to realize is money is the cheapest excuse you can come up with. For example, if you need money to hire someone and you don't have money, you can consider bartering with them. You can consider say, can I pay you in 30 days? You can consider finding a cheaper intern or someone who's new. You can consider asking your friend if you can do you a favor. There's millions of ways that you can do it without having to say money is the only reason you can't do it. A lot of times this excuse comes up very often, and either it prevents you from growing, prevents you from hiring people, or you having to work 80-hour weeks because you say that, hey, I don't want to hire someone to do this. So in summary, until you've exhausted every single method, there's 9,999 ways that you can solve the problem before money is the problem. You should only focus on high-level tasks in your business. Here's my 6th tip in my 8-part series of lessons I wish I learned when I started my business. Any task that can be done at a lower wage, I would give it to someone else to do or delegate it, and I would only focus on doing tasks that has higher value for my company. In your company, your most important asset is time. If you can spend all your efforts on doing tasks that will grow your business 10x, 100x, like forming strategic partnerships, fixing operations so that you can increase your margins, or hiring our salesperson. That will grow your business a lot more than you spend your time doing data entry, bookkeeping, doing the coding that other people can be doing. Don't do minimum wage tasks. Only do tasks that would have high ROI for your company, and focus on those, and you'll continue growing your business. Don't take business advice. I know this is contradictory because I'm making a series of all the lessons that I've learned and I wish I knew. Business advice from people varies by industry. So when you're talking to someone, they might be a lot ahead of you, or they might be in a different industry from you, and everyone has different problems, and what they did to get to where they are may not apply to you the same way, because they might have done it 4 years ago and the market has changed, or maybe they're in a different industry and there are certain strategies that work for them that won't work for you. Make sure that when you take advice from people, you want to take it from people who are 1 or 2 steps ahead of you, and they're in the same industry. And even with that, you don't want to assume everything they say is right. You want to take what they say, see what applies to you, and apply your own spin to what they're saying, and then do that. Make sure you played the right game. This is my last tip of my 8-part series for business advice that I wish I knew when I started. And the idea is that you want to make sure that the business you're doing, you're actually interested in, and you know why you're doing it, because you go the extra mile that other people won't go. If you're just doing it for the money, you're not going to get very far, because once you get a little bit of success, you're going to stop. Like if you're obsessive about solving a problem in an industry, you will go find every angle, every detail that other people will not look and find. And then that will be your competitive advantage that you're going to win out in business. So make sure you actually care about the problem you're solving in the industry you're in. So that way you can play the game for a very long time, outlast your competitors, and win out in the long run.